can lean into your own personal discomfort, say what needs to be said in a non-offensive way, the more you make the world a better place.
All right. Hey, everyone, it's Andy coming to you on Sunday on all platforms on a very impromptu basis. I'm feeling rather compelled to share some thoughts from the Jumpstart perspective when we think about de-escalation this weekend. You know, in the same period of time, we watched Alex Honnold free solo climb Taipei 101 in Taiwan and reach a new record for humanity, the tallest building free climbed of all time. And, you know, millions of people around the world celebrating that. At the same time, we're seeing on social media extraordinary outrage over the events in Minnesota. And I'd like to connect some dots and talk a little bit about outrage as a term. Outrage, certainly for me, is something that I have felt about a number of topics. I become outraged upon witnessing human rights violations. And I have a history of animating myself to stop them. I have a history of animating myself from a spirit of outrage and engaging with other people while presenting outrage to get human rights violations to stop. That resulted in me getting my ass kicked, figuratively speaking, a few times. My message got lost when it was presented in outrage. I think it's entirely reasonable to feel outraged over whatever you might feel outraged about. It's another thing to animate yourself and present the outrage. When people witness outrage in another human being, do you think they're actually hearing your message that motivates your outrage? When someone's animating themselves in their outrage, when they're not listening, trying to talk over you, physically getting in your space, do you think that we're able to hear messaging from someone when they're animated by outrage and presenting it? The answer is no. When our nervous system is overloaded with stimulation that you don't have any say in, your nervous system is going to interpret it as risk of safety, risk of well-being, risk of life. Tony would be describing this as fear, and he'd be right in having that discussion. How am I going to share my message about which outrage is involved if I present outrage? So if you're outraged, the recommendation is to attenuate, reduce the volume of what you present if you're interested in being heard. Because the nervous system of the other person, if you present your outrage, is not going to interpret what your message is. I've learned this, and it's been at great cost. When I present the outrage that I feel, my message about whatever injustice I want to talk about is lost. Let me say that again. If I present my outrage, if I present it, it's one thing that I feel it and it's animating my energy to do something about it. If I present my outrage at another person, my message is not going to be heard. This is how human beings are hardwired. Now, I'm going to talk about something else. If you think for one moment that there aren't people trying to pull the levers on others by animating people to present their outrage, you're gravely mistaken if you think that's not happening. It's absolutely happening. Oh, and by the way, what do you think captures the attention economy on social media? Do you think it's calm, self-regulated talk, or do you think it's outrage? Like, the data on that is, you cannot dispute it. Cannot. Outrage gets clicks. Please, get off the social media doom scrolling of things that fuel outrage. This is hard. No one else can do it for you. There are not interventional powers that can get you to stop unless you want to stop on your own. Start thinking about what you're going to do about it. I got my ass handed to me by presenting outrage over human rights violations. Hear me on this. There is nobody more invested in stopping unnecessary use of force, seclusion, restraint, chemical intervention than me. I'm at shoulder to shoulder with people way out front on this all over the world. I used to speak outraged about it, and nobody heard me. And one of the biggest lessons I ever had, if he's watching, was my CEO, the great Ron Adler. I was enraged with him when he kicked me to the sidelines because I used to animate myself with outrage over human rights violations. And he came into my office and I was not happy with him. And he looked at me and he said, "I can't have gang fights over you anymore." That stuck with me because he knew I was a lightning rod. Now, did I draw a lot of attention to the problem? Yes. Would I have changed that? Probably not. But I suffered for it and I sacrificed for it. And I changed how I present myself about it. If that means anything. You can be on either side of this issue and see an extraordinary amount of outrage being presented. There's a whole cohort that has an opportunity to change what they do with their outrage if they want to be heard. And then there's a whole other cohort that's pulling the levers to ensure that people present their outrage. Presenting the outrage, you will not advance your message. Presenting your outrage will not advance your message. It's only going to bring about conflict. This is how human beings are wired and work. Now, somebody may say, well, a little revolution is good every now and then. I've been around and involved in enough violence to conclude that nearly everyone, after they've gone through that, realize, well, shit, I wish we didn't have to do that. Please attenuate the outrage. You can feel it all you want. Attenuate how you express yourself about it. And hopefully we can see some de-escalation here. This is getting way out of hand. And it's very concerning. So we're going to talk more about this on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for taking a few minutes to watch me about this. Feel outraged, attenuate how you present it. Modulate it. Reel it in. If you present outrage, your message is going to get lost because all you're doing is stimulating another human being's risk circuitry. And consequently, when they feel insecure, afraid, attacked, violated, what do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to bow to your logic, your sophisticated way of presenting the problem with outrage? I've done that. I've done that. Debated doctors, eviscerated them, made them look stupid. You think my message was better? The way I did it, I got put in the closet. That's my prototypical experience. One of them. I've got a few, but that's one. And it wasn't because my message was wrong, and it wasn't because my message was bad. It was animated by outrage and presented with outrage. as opposed to animated by Outrage, presented attenuated. Attenuation was a term I never really knew anything about until I got into ham radio. Check it out. Google it. Attenuate. Attenuate the outrage. Your message will land better. Peace to all of you. See you Tuesday.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
More that you can lean into your own personal discomfort, say what needs to be said in a non-offensive way, the more you make the world a better place.